Behold the source wall. Behind it is the single greatest secret of the universe. This is as far as I dare to go.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Seek and Destroy. And today I figured I would check out this Superman and Lois trailer that people have been talking about. And I'm very excited for it. You know, I got to meet Tyler when I'm back in California when I worked at Lego. It was like December of 2019, right before we were going into 2020. This was around the time that I knew I would probably be leaving California because of health reasons. When I had my I was planning my surgery for early February and stuff. And it was just really cool. I was walking, you know, like to work. I got there early and I was like, oh, I came here early so I could walk down to Legacy Comics, which was like a couple blocks away from my work. And I went to Legacy, picked up an issue of Superman and came back. And sure as not anything, I saw Tyler hanging out at our Lego store. And I actually wasn't clocked in yet. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just ask him. Like I went up, I said, hey, actually was a coworker of mine pointed him out. I was like, dude, I think that's Superman. And so I went over and talked to him and I was like, hey, you know, are you Tyler? Do you play Superman? And he was like, I do. And he was like, what's your name? Nice to meet you. He was like really nice. He had his family with him. And I said, yeah, I'm a big fan. I go, and coincidentally, I have this Superman comic on me. It was one written by Brian Michael Bendis, which had the reveal of Clark Kent, you know, Superman revealing himself as Clark Kent to the world, which was kind of a big deal. It wasn't a really great story, but it was kind of a big deal at the time when that comic came out, and it had a lot of controversy behind it, people having opinions one way or the other. And Tyler was nice enough to sign it for me and take a picture with me. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? He was so nice to me. He was super, super nice. So, you know, normally when people are, he's trying to be low keys with his family and stuff. And I really felt bad bothering him, but he was very kind, took a minute out of his day. His family was really nice. They're like, what do you like about Superman? You know, and everything. And I was telling him about my Patreon podcast that we used to do about Superman. And ever since then, I was like, you know, that interaction was so great that this guy has a fan for life, and I'll always give anything he works on a shot for sure. And I like him as Superman. I actually like him as Clark Kent a lot, but I actually like him as Superman. So I was curious to see, and I know some people are gonna be like, oh, dude, you know, like, you know, everyone has their opinions about what makes a good Superman and what doesn't or whatever. For me, it's not like one thing that makes a good Superman. It's a little bit of everything. And I think a lot of actors who have played Superman have those things. And so that's why I always like to give people a shot when they play the character, because it's not an easy character to play, that's for sure, because everyone has their opinions about Superman. So in this one, we have Superman and Lois, and it's a part of, or it's I guess a version of them that we haven't really seen on TV before, which is like them having been married for a few years and having teenagers for kids. That's not a version we've seen in TV or anything before, which is awesome. You know, like, and Superman being a loving father, you know, with Lois and raising these two kids, bringing them back to Smallville after, you know, times get tough with, you know, from what I've heard, it's like newspaper, you know, troubles and things like that. So it's kind of like the changing of the world and Superman trying to re-find his place in it now that he's also a father. And although we kind of saw a glimpse of that in the Smallville cameo and the Flash episodes and the crossover for DC, we haven't seen, you know, that a ton or fleshed out like we're about to with this show. So I'm curious about it. Let's see what the show has to offer. I've seen a couple still shots of it, but nothing major. So I want to dive into this and check out what exactly this will be and see it firsthand without getting everyone else's opinion on it first. So without further ado, here we go.
When we were dreaming about having a family, it didn't look like this, did it? Lost jobs.
Oh, I kind of like how it's shot.
Severe anxiety.
Kind of reminds me a little Snyder-ish, little Superman Returns-ish, like Bryan Singer did. Kind of muted colors here and there.
Still looking for the simple life?
Who's
Those
that
days
talking?
are gone, Clark. Long gone.
Ooh, General Lane, maybe? Whoa!
You got the
Who's that
weight of
dude?
the world on your shoulders.
Really wish I could get drunk sometimes.
All right, Tuesday, February 23rd.
Saying you're Superman.
Okay. Whoa!
No, we've seen Superman before. We've seen him.
That's pretty cool. We've seen Superman like floating in space with that look before. Superman Returns, Man of Steel. But someone just tackled him. Oh, that's cool. Oh, those are his kids. Okay, his two sons. I actually kind of like the way he plays Lois too. She does good on the show.
Superman and Lois, 2-hour
All right.
event Tuesday,
2-hour event.
23rd.
Now, I
Stream
think I
next
did
day,
read
only
about
on
that. It's not technically like it's a 2-hour event, sure, but it's like I think it's like 30 minutes of like a preview or something, and then an hour-and-a-half episode, something like that. So so I'm curious to watch the whole event. I definitely will give you guys my review of that when it comes out, when it happens. But yeah, I mean, you know, it looks pretty good. Like I said, I saw some screenshots, so nothing really surprised me in that. You know, unfortunately, seeing 2 or 3 screenshots with the type of color palette they have was already given away to me, so that didn't like shock me too much. But it is kind of curious. Like people always tell me, they're like, because I'm not a big fan of what Zack Snyder did with the Superman movie and what he did with Batman vs. Superman. But I am still intrigued to see what he does with Justice League, although I'm sure it's not going to be for me because I haven't liked his previous stuff, but I'm willing to give it a shot for sure. And that fandom, what that fandom has done, like raising awareness for that, basically getting that movie made, and then also raising money for, suicide prevention and things like that in honor of Zach's daughter. Like it's amazing what that movement has done. I know people will say like, oh, that movement's negative and toxic. Well, every movement I've seen is negative and toxic to some degree, but you can't judge a whole movement based on the actions of a few who kind of, try to, weasel their way into it and do bad things. You have to look at what that group has actually done, and that group has raised money and awareness for suicide prevention, which is very near and dear to my heart, and to raise awareness for, which is why in all of my videos in the description box, I have links to, different societies and places and charities and events and groups that help raise awareness. Again, I'm willing to see where this goes. Like I said, it doesn't look super cheesy. It looks like they're trying to take it, semi-serious, but like also have these moments that might be very comic booky too. So hopefully it has a nice balance between that. I don't like when things try to do too realistic of a take on these characters, because at the end of the day, he is an alien from outer space who looks just like us and all that stuff, and has powers and fights guys who have hearts made out of kryptonite and stuff. So there still has to be some level of like, campiness and goofiness to it. But maybe handling the relationships between the characters very realistically, I think could do well for the show. So, it's a very short teaser, as a minute, but I did kind of like what I saw, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think now. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this. Did you see it yourself? If not, why'd you watch me talk over it? I'll put a link down below to the actual trailer if you want to go check it out for yourself, and then come back and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of it and what you're excited for or not excited for. Whatever it is, let me know. Let me know that down below, and we'll continue the conversation. We'll continue the conversation down there. Man, I can't talk today. Yeah, it's been tough, and I'm just started getting the ability to talk back. Recently after my seizure and stuff. So thank you all for being so patient with these videos. Hopefully I'll get this up at some point soon. Thanks so much. See you in the future. Peace.